So this week we're going to try a little bit different stonefly variation. This is our Great Lakes Steelhead stonefly. You can see in the vise here. This one's done. It's nice heavy tungsten bead on here. Very strong Ahrex hook, and this is a great pattern for using as like an anchor nymph, or can also be fished under indicator and everything as well. I like it a lot for steelhead especially. Okay, we're just gonna pop this one out and we're gonna tie one for you guys. Okay, so hook and bead we're going to start with is a Ahrex and Ahrex 554, the check nymph hook. And this is the biggest size they make it, size 10. And then I have that paired up with a 4mm tungsten bead from Fly Tying Source. These are actually available on our website now. In 4mm, 3.5mm, and 3mm. It's just a better quality bead. So, first thing we're going to do is going to come in with our thread. Our thread today is 6/0 Veevus in black. This can be, you can use a lot of different colors. We're not going to see the thread much. Sometimes I like to use Chartreuse, because this little thread bump we're going to make back here just kind of gives like a hot spot in the back of the fly. But for this one, we're just going to use black. I'm just attaching my thread on the hook, and we're going to come in with a small piece of 025 lead. Just a small little stick of it. We're going to stick that all the way up into our slotted bead here and tie that right on the bottom, what will be the bottom of our hook shank. And I'm just cutting that to length, and just to pull a little bit of a taper into our body here. We're going to come back with our thread. We're going to cover all that and come all the way back just past the bend of our hook. We're going to build up a little bump of thread. Okay, so we're just going to tie this down on my side here with one looser wrap, and then one a little bit tighter. I want this on about 50-50, tied in the middle. And we're going to tie, I got 2 wraps on my side. I'm going to pull the other side towards you, and then hold these right together and just give a few loose wraps here in the back. Now we're going to advance our thread up to our lead. So those loose wraps in the back just keep these kind of together, but it also is spread because of our thread bump. So now we're going to come in with another material. We have our chenille for the body. This is a different color. Just started using. I just found, actually. I was trying to replace the color that I have been using for these stones for a while now. And I found it in this New Age Chenille from Cascade Crest. I might be able to see that better. Yep. New Age Chenille. This is a 2mm chenille, so very thin chenille, but it still has some flash in it. So it gives us a little bit of a sparkle to the body of our bug. I'm just going to tie the tip of this chenille in right behind where our lead is attached, or where our lead comes to on our hook shank, and we're going to tie it all the way back to our back antenna there. And what I'm doing now is just cleaning up the body a little bit, giving us a nice little taper to carry our thread over. I'm going to stop my thread right here at about the halfway spot on my shank. Just going to make sure you guys are zoomed. Okay. I'm going to touch this up with a touch of super glue, just so that when these wraps are on here, they're not coming undone. I'm just going to do touching wraps up the shank of our hook. Till we get to where our thread is stopped. I'm going to go over top with 1, 2 wraps, and if you have a bobbin rest or something, you can use that to hold this material off to the side. Now we're going to come in with more rubber legs. I did not explain that in the beginning, but so out of our package of rubber legs, we're taking them off of the little skein that they come on, cutting them into quarters. Yes, quarters. And that'll give you pieces about this length. And that's what I used in half for here. And then I used 1 on each side in half for our front legs here. So we're going to do the same thing with this. We're just going to do 1, 2 wraps on my side, and these don't have to be perfectly even front to back. We're going to trim them down a little bit. So now I'm doing the one on your side, 1 wrap, 2 wraps over that. We're going to pull everything back. When you got everything pulled back, just going to cinch that down a little bit just so it's nice and tight. So things aren't moving around on us. We're just going to, with this thread, do the same thing, just smooth out our body. So we got a nice smooth transition for our chenille to go over. Okay, that's that. Now we're gonna go 1 wrap between our legs on both sides. I like to do another wrap on this side, your side, far side, and then move our legs back, and we're just gonna wrap in front with a few wraps, 2, 3 wraps. We're gonna trap that material with 2 wraps and cut it out. Then we're just gonna adjust our legs a little bit, get them even, and I like them pointed more towards the what will be the top of the fly in the water. And then we're going to come in with our last material. It's going to be ice dub. I use Chartreuse for this one. I usually do this collar, either Chartreuse or a fluorescent pink. Take the ice dub out, rip it in half. Put a nice slim noodle of it here onto our thread. And then we're just going to wrap that in front of our chenille. Like I said, this is just a collar, like a hot spot collar pretty much. Now we're going to finish our fly off with a couple half hitches or whip finish, whatever you want to use. Pull our thread up towards the slot in our tungsten bead here, and we're going to snip off our thread, and all we have left is some trimming and some UV. So I like to just mess with these legs a little bit more, get them exactly where I want them. I'm going to come through with Raid Zap. This is the Raid Zap Thick Flex, and I'm going to coat all the way from the slot of our bead back past our legs and just on this bottom side. That's what I like to do. So just like that, and then we're going to cure that. Then after we're done curing, we can go back through and just do a little bit of a trim on these legs. They're a little bit long. The issue is you can leave them long. It's just some of these, they will get caught around this your hook shank like that, and they're not gonna. It's just not gonna look as ideal in the water, I guess. So I just trim them up a little bit so they aren't able to get stuck behind their the bend of your hook as easily. Okay. I'm gonna pull up my scissors. And I'll turn this a little bit so you guys can see what I'm doing. I'm just going to trim a little bit off each of these. And then also trim our back ones. I like to just hold them together and trim them. And that's that. You have a finished Steelhead stonefly. Just a little bit different. It's a little bit bigger hook than the regular stonefly I tie. A little bit more weight. And this Chartreuse collar, Chartreuse or pink collar. Steelhead likes some flashy stuff sometimes for sure. So I feel like that's why I do that differently on this this pattern here. Alright, well thank you guys for watching, and all these materials, if they are not available right now, they will be shortly on the website. Even this this stonefly chenille here, this is something I've been looking for, like I said, something I've been looking for a while, and I found it. So go check out the online store or stop into the shop when you guys have time, and I hope to have another video for you guys on Friday.